making a mistake with that one. Pardon my eavesdropping. You don't look like someone who knows much about this town or how it works. That character you just interviewed doesn't know his ass from a hole in the ground. I don't know if you noticed, but he never even said he'd get you to the other side of the gap. Only to it. You are extending a lot of trust for someone like that. I'd steer clear of that one, if I were you. Oh, sure. I bet he did come highly recommended. Recommended by his boys to take you out and put you in the ground. Pockets full of your valuables. Hell, he might not even go that far, and just leave you to the elements. A guy like him, anyone from around here could tell he's not the kind of person you want to lend an ear to. He must have his hands in a dozen different jars. Don't be his next victim. You haven't been flashing those stacks to every person you've asked to take you north, have you? Well, it's still one too many. They had a mighty big target on your back. Small towns like this don't forget, and they don't let you leave so quickly. You're not getting out there alive, if you're putting your safety in the hand of that one. You could hire a crew to protect you until the next coach. They'll eat all your money, but at least you'll have your life. So long as you hire a posse worth their salt for it, which, given your track record, I'm not so sure now. I could give you some names, if you like. You, by yourself. Well, you could try, but someone like you, alone, moving through some of the most treacherous parts of the country just to get to the gap, outcome stays the same. You might survive a couple days, I'll give you that, but that place, wow. What do you know about it? Dangerous, yes. That's all you have to say. Nothing else. Unbelievable. At that point, they're probably doing you a favor by taking you out before you get there, honestly. Listen, use your money bags to get you back to wherever it is you stumbled out here from. If you value your life, stay away from the gap. Can't be that bad. Now I know you have no idea what it is you're looking to get yourself into. You ever been caught at sundown out in the country, and you could swear you'd seen something out of the corner of your eye? Something that moves so fast that when you turn, there's nothing there. A figure, an animal. Only then it's gone, and all you're left with is your goosebumps and your fears running wild as you hightail it back home. Out here, it's your imaginings getting the better of you. In the gap, it's real. Just another night. In the gap, there's words to live by. You don't look at whatever you think you see. You don't listen to whatever you think you hear. You don't go to wherever it is you're trying to get to. It's not some game. You keep moving, you don't think, you don't turn around. There's a reason why no one goes through there, and that's common knowledge, probably the only part of the gap which is. You're not going to find anyone that actually knows a detail about the place or how to survive there, let alone anyone that's willing to take some greenhorn to it. I do know more about that place than everyone else in this town combined, yeah. And notice how I'm the only one here trying to warn you to keep your nose out of it. My advice would be to wait for the next stagecoach. Buckle down in your room and leave the gap alone. You manage to do that, you'll survive just fine. Well, that's the price you pay, being out in the middle of nowhere. Coaches take longer, sometimes don't show up at all, depending on how bad it gets around here. You've probably got a good 5 weeks till the next one. Seems you'll be able to hold in a plenty nice room, at least. Not my problem. Shouldn't have come this way if you didn't want to wait. I'm not offering my services because I don't operate on a pittance. I've been trying to tell you how foolish it is to attempt to do what you're doing, and now you want to rope me into. You're expecting someone to toss aside weeks of their life to escort a know-nothing out to a place where even the most adventurous are lucky to survive. You'd have to offer a hell of a lot to make this worth my while. Yeah, well, that's the thing. You see, I don't care about your urgent affairs. The Gap doesn't care about your urgent affairs. It's money. I care about money. Offer me enough and I might care enough to take you. Or don't. Doesn't really matter much to me. It's just how things operate, sweetheart. Money moves, and it'll move me too. You're used to this song and dance by now, we both know it. More. Gotta go higher than that. Clearly we're not seeing the same value in my time or expertise. Go find someone else who's stepped foot in there. By the time you manage that, you'll be a number of years wiser, I expect. Maybe then you'll be ready for it. There you go. Now you're asking the kinds of questions you should have been from the start. How can you trust me? How can you trust the last dimwit? If you're really serious about going, and you're serious about dropping a whole lot of money to do it, then I'm your only real option. I've been there, and I can prove it. This. Taken straight from the inside. Not a meteorite, no. Maybe something close to it, but not just a meteorite. Look closer. The center. It's watching you. I don't know what it is, but that vibrant blue glow deep inside. See it tracking you? If you can prove to me that you've seen anything else like that, then I'll pay you. Like I said, I have been there too many times to count, and now I'm good at it. Had to be good in the first place to make that first trip, and now I'm even better. The best. I can route to it from just about anywhere around. I pack up, I head inside, I come out, and anyone I take comes back out too. More or less in one piece to where they want it to go. I've entered the Gap more than probably any man. That's right. I'll keep going back to. No place should go unexplored, especially not somewhere like that. So, that being the case, I'll say this once. You double your offer and I'll lead you through the Gap. Half now, half when we arrive. Well, you are certainly free to take your chances by yourself or with any of the lowlifes offering to lighten your pockets. Perhaps I'll be reading about you too then, in the papers. 5 private expeditions, 2 military units, and a dozen more individuals considered simply missing. That's all this month, this side of the mountains. So what's your safety worth to you? Deal. Pleasure doing business. So where's my money? You should be paying me just for stopping you from getting yourself killed with that other idiot. Like I said, half now, half when we get through it. That is plenty fair. All right, we'll get to it. If you happen to remember which of these 5 bags you keep your money in. You're leaving this behind when we set off, you know. And I'm not carrying anything for you, Troubles. Arguing isn't going to make me change my mind. Better to leave this stuff in town than take it into the Gap only to be left behind there instead. Might as well start narrowing it down now. You've got a lot to go through, and by your own words, only so much time. Don't look at me like that. The quicker you start, the quicker you're done, and we can head out. You're paying me to guide you, not be your pack mule. Have a coach deliver your bags. Have them stowed, leave the majority behind, do whatever you have to do. You're going to want to go in as light as possible. And we'll be on our own 2 feet to walk there, so get some good boots. No horses, no wagons. You don't want to take horses into the Gap. Trust me on that. Don't look so shocked. You'll get to where you're going, even without a horse. Cheaper, too, though that's clearly not a concern for you. This is just how it has to be done. It'll be safer this way, and believe it or not, quicker. Trust me, and start slimming down those bags. I mean it. You're going to be regretting every extra pound you take after walking a few days straight. A week, perhaps a little longer, is the travel plan. It'll depend a lot on how fast we move, of course. How well you can walk inclines, and how good your boots are, and how much you like to eat. You take your time walking like you take your time sorting through a bag. I'm going to be stuck with you for a while. Stick the shade when you can. Avoid loose sands for stone and solid dirt on every step. If you're quiet, we can route through a canyon or two on the way. I'll save time. Why'd you pack so many bags anyway? I've never known for someone to have a mug for every day of the week. A bit overkill, wouldn't you say? We're not going to be stopping for a tea break every hour. No reason to take them. Once we get into the gap, no fires either. I've got you covered on everything of the sort, so just stick to your necessities. Before we go, there are some ground rules. Listen to me, no questions asked, no backtalk. If I ask you to do something, you do it right then, right there. Because if you don't, you put us both in danger. I'm not sure if you're dumb or just incredibly naive, but this isn't going to be like the woods in your backyard. Where we're going, you look in and something else looks right back out. And you don't want that something to think you're a tasty morsel worth taking a second look at. Not easy enough to understand. What's your name anyway? Why do I feel as though I heard that name before? Have we met previously? Maybe I did hear it in passing. How long you been in town for? Guess so. Surprised I didn't see you around sooner. Must have been holding up in your room for most of the duration. You stand out like a sore thumb in this environment. It just means you stand out. You dress completely differently than most folks around here, and well, you look nice is all. It was a compliment, not a complaint. Most people just call me Cole. Pleasure to meet you. Officially, that is. Can't take everything. Remove that one too. No one needs slippers in the wilderness. I'm starting to really believe that you've never done anything like this before. Remember, only what you can carry in one bag, two if you're feeling brave. But I won't be helping if you get tired. You could open up your own general store with just how much junk you carry around. Multiples of just about everything. You scared you're gonna lose something? Oh, relax. No need to prickle at a joke. Compared to most folk, you just own quite a bit of things. A bit strained is all. Most wouldn't travel like this unless they were looking for a place to call home. And this town isn't much of a home for most that come traveling through. Your story must be a little different, no? You seem anything but boring, especially to someone like me. If anything, I'm curious as to what kind of person you are, since we're going to be spending so much time together. How about you tell me some things about yourself and I'll return the favor? Aren't those little yellow flowers? Believe maybe I saw some a while back. I was quite mistaken then. Never been that far east before. Maybe there's a similar culprit to the sun drop around here. What about hobbies? Know how to hunt or fish? There'll be plenty of weird stuff for you to draw on the gap then. No lack of it, really. Hope you're not too picky about what you eat. I'll bring plenty of rations, but we might have to hunt a bit depending on how things shake out. You about done? Light's wasting the longer you keep fussing over what to bring. Good job. It wasn't too hard now, was it? Oftentimes we overestimate what we need. A good lesson for you to learn. You'll be fine, though you aren't so bogged down. Come along, then. If we plan to reach the gap by sundown and camp there, we need to get moving. Got several miles to cover, and we're going to need a strong start to get there before nightfall. Wasted too much good daylight as it is. 12 miles, that's right. And even that much is pushing it at your pace. You think I was kidding when I said we were walking there? You ever walked anywhere before? Now, why does that not surprise me? Please don't tell me I'm babysitting a runaway rich kid. That wasn't exactly a no, was it? Next, you'll tell me you didn't realize we'd be camping on the ground. You've got to be kidding me. Day just keeps getting better. You know what? You just follow me and you can experience things as we get to them. I'll stop spoiling the surprise and keep my sanity in return. The ground where bugs live, yes. the ground you'll be sleeping on for the next week. I'm gonna need you to take it down a notch. Your jacket will act as a pillow, and it's not gonna get cold enough for you to need more than a blanket. You'll be fine. Sleeping on the ground is the absolute least of your worries for this trip. Well, look, no one's stopping you from leaving. You can turn around at any time. Your room's right there. Go back and hire one of those shady thugs and see how things end up for you. No? Changed your mind? Yeah, well, maybe I should have warned you to start off with. I see you eyeing the stables. Just keep walking. I'm firm on no horses. Don't give me no trouble about it. Charlotte. I was paid to take one person, not two, through the... Charlotte's a horse. I'm not sure if maybe you're just hard of hearing, but can you repeat what I just told you? Then why the hell are you saddling up right now? I get that Charlotte is your friend, but your friend needs to stay here. Okay. You know what? Fine. Sue yourself. You want to be that stubborn about it? I will let you see just what you're getting into. Enjoy it while it lasts. And don't get upset with me when I'm right. Oh, stop with the smug smile. This was not a competition. Whatever you're thinking, keep it to yourself. Alright, well, if you two are ready, we've got a long road ahead. Let's get to it.